Sind zurück mit Grabgenommen bedauert.
Octoberpod. As I write this, it's 1:38 a.m. The only light is the glow of my laptop. Perfect setting for the creepiest story I ever heard. This happened to my ex-girlfriend. Her name's Courtney, but she likes to be called Court. She's done some hard living, but you'll never fall in love with a gentler soul than her. This story I'm about to tell happened about a year after we broke up, and I've pieced together the whole thing with details I've picked up from mutual friends. Following our breakup, Court had a rough time. She claimed that a stalker was making life miserable. I won't go into all of that, but suffice it to say, Court found herself running away from it all. I always thought the move was temporary, but according to a lot of people, she never meant to return. Court didn't have any family left. Her father was the last to go. Died of a stroke after an earlier, minor stroke paralyzed much of his face. And he left her the family home. The idea of returning to the house she grew up in must have been appealing to her. So she packed everything into her hatchback to start a new life in the wild, rambling hills of West Virginia. Baltimore and West Virginia might not be that far apart on the map, but she may have been moving into a different planet. Some nights I lie awake in bed thinking about her making that journey through all those dark and ancient hills, surrounded on either side by black, impenetrable wilderness. So solitary, so alone. Court's sweet face illuminated by the light of the dashboard, so lost, so vulnerable. What a grand adventure it must have been for little Court to undertake. Something happened to her during her short stay in the wilderness. Weeks went by during which no one in our circle of friends heard from her, and when she did send out an email or social media post, it was always strange, unsettling. She DM'd our friend Donut one night. Court rented an apartment with Donut during college, and was talking to him about a door she had found in the basement. It was a glass door, like what you'd use for a front door, that opened onto a wall of naked earth. A door to nowhere. Court remained friendly with my sister after our breakup. She called my sister one night and told her she just bought a dog in town, but the dog refused to go in the house without a lot of prodding. Whenever she did get the dog in the house, it would bark at mirrors or at pictures of Court's deceased family members. A portrait of Court's father drove the dog nuts. But no one really knows what happened beyond that. All I can say is that when she returned, she was changed, haunted. When Court got back, she didn't recognize anyone. Literally. Someone had to be speaking before she could figure out who that person was. She said she saw her father's face everywhere. At first it would be a stranger at the gas station, in Target, in the car next to her at a red light, waiting for coffee at the Starbucks she visits at 8 o'clock each morning. But soon everyone she saw, whether face to face or in a crowd, whether man or woman, child or adult, had her father's face. She stopped going out. She stayed inside with her curtains shut tight. She had groceries delivered to her apartment several days a week. I heard through the grapevine that she saw a gaggle of neurologists and psychologists. They diagnosed her disorder as being psychological, brought on by past trauma involving her father. No comment. And they prescribed her meds and therapy. Ironically, things went downhill after that. I found out from Donut that she'd stopped taking her medication soon after that, and she stopped showing up for work. Food deliveries and Amazon packages started piling up on her front stoop. Her friends got worried and started looking for her. Court's best friend had a key to her apartment and went to check on her. No one had been living there for weeks. A chicken pot pie from Trader Joe's sat uneaten and rotting on the table. All the mirrors in the house had been covered up, or broken, or spray-painted black. Donut and some others went to the cops. About a week later, a call came in saying that Court's car had been found in a ditch about a mile from the house she'd inherited from her father. The car was packed tight with naked earth, but Court was not inside. West Virginia State Police searched the house. No Court, no nothing. Everything was just as Court had left it about 2 months before, with one exception. A glass door in the basement had been ripped off its hinges, uncovering a wall of naked earth. But no Court, no nothing. No one has seen her since, though many have searched. The cops are at a loss to explain her disappearance. Donut has a theory involving a ghost, but he'll only speak of it when he's drunk. P.S. I forgot to mention this earlier. Before she disappeared, I bumped into Court at Trader Joe's, purely by coincidence. Well, we saw each other from a distance. She looked at me with an expression in her eyes I'd never seen before. Love mingled with fear and loss. I thought she recognized me until she called out to me. "Daddy?"